Hello lovely people! Today I will be talking to you about some sustainable products that I own, why I have switched to them and if I like them or not. If you do like my videos, please like, subscribe and share. And let's talk about sustainability. So first of all, I wanted to talk to you about why I decided to switch to those products. In the last 2 years I have been really following the news and following, social media. And I have been learning about how bad we are as human beings for the environment. I know this is kind of annoying to hear all the time nowadays, but I think we do need to kind of get used with the kind of information that's out there and learn and just try to make ourselves better. So I kind of decided that whatever I could do, I would try to do it. And for the last 2, even 3 years now, I have tried to live a more sustainable life, meaning I've tried to kind of reduce my footprint on the environment. Nobody's perfect, of course, and I'm not saying that I am. I'm nowhere near perfect, but I'm trying to do the best I can. And even though still I keep flying all the time, which is, as you most likely know, really bad for the environment, but I have to do it in a sense because I want to see my family, and plane travel is just very convenient right now. In the future I'm kind of looking to reduce that a little bit. Right, so I'm going to start talking about the products that I have, and first of all I'm actually going to show you something that's very simple. Anytime you go to a shop and you buy some type of a sauce or some olives, it comes in a jar, right? So what do you do with this jar afterwards? For years and years and years I used to just chuck them in the bin and forget about them. But more recently I've actually been cleaning them up and using them. And I actually really like this jar as well because it's got this really nice texture here. And I've been using these to store things in the fridge, like, when you open a can and you just, because storing cans in the fridge is actually bad because the kind of chemicals from the cans go into your food. So you need something to store them in. And why store them in plastic when you can store them in jars? Obviously glass is so much better for your health as well. This is one thing that I've been doing that I think anybody should really start doing, because we have these at our disposal. We buy these all the time, and there's no point in buying certain type of Tupperware or buying these, fancy mason jars when you have this for free. So that's number one. Number two is this beautiful travel mug, which was quite pricey, and I bought it from the UK. I bought it from John Lewis. So I really like this because it's glass again. It's got this cork thing here for when your drink is very hot. And this is plastic, but I think it was recycled plastic as well. And then this thing here, it pops off so you can clean everything, and it just kind of pops back on. And I really like this mug because it's very small, it kind of fits everywhere. It does leak a little bit, so I wouldn't recommend storing it like that in your bag full of liquid. But if you're just popping into the coffee shop, getting a coffee, drinking it, this is perfect. It was about £20 from John Lewis. And actually one thing I did, because this is my second cup, with the first one I was carrying it like this once, so I was lifting it by the lid, and then it just fell, and obviously this broke. Actually I wasn't gonna buy another one. What I did instead, I used the jar like this. I put some string around it and I used it as a mug, and people at the coffee shop laughed at me, but I was like, you can laugh at me as much as you want, this is good for the environment, I don't care about your opinion. I did that for a bit, but then my partner actually bought me this and I was like, okay, I didn't really want it, but thank you anyways. So yeah, this is another thing. And speaking of coffee, if you all have a Dolce Gusto coffee machine, you will know that this is what you put your Dolce Gusto pods in. Now when I was gifted the Dolce Gusto coffee machine, I bought the pods like usual. After my 3rd or 4th box I was like, okay, this is actually really bad for the environment. I was noticing how many of those pods I was throwing away and how much money I was spending as well. So I wanted to find an alternative. Just a quick search on Amazon and I found this, which is a reusable coffee pod for Dolce Gusto coffee machine. So this is what it looks like. It has a little hole here where the machine penetrates the pod, and you just open it and there's like a filter inside. You just fill this with just regular ground coffee. It's not like premium type espresso, you know, it's not the best coffee, but it's good for the environment and it's very easy to clean. And you actually get 4 of these pods. Because it's still plastic, you still kind of have to throw them away. And after 2 years of using my first one, I threw it away because I thought maybe it's time to switch it, because it's, you know, plastic as well. In hot liquids, I think it's quite bad for your health, so I switched it. But you know, it's still so much better than throwing these single-use plastics every single day. Now onto the bathroom products. So when it comes to shampoo, I started buying Lush shampoo bars. This is kind of almost finished shampoo bar. It's actually broken. It smells really nice, foams up really well. It was relatively cheap for what you get. I've used this for 2 months after it gets to this point, and you can use this for another month. I have it with a tin. And this is their conditioner, which probably I've used this for 2 years. Like, it's insane. You get so much out of these. They are quite pricey when you buy them, but again, they last a long time. When I used them for quite a few months, my scalp actually got really dry and itchy to the point where I actually thought I had lice. And I asked my partner like 3-4 times, like, please check me for lice because I think I have lice. And I'm itching my head all the time. I was doing this all the time, like in uni, and people were looking at me like, oh my god, she has lice. I didn't have any lice. She checked thoroughly. I just realized it must be the shampoo that I'm using, because there's nothing else that could be what's wrong with my scalp. So I ditched the Lush shampoo for a little while, and for the last 2-3 months I've been using just regular, you know, drugstore shampoo, because I'm just giving my scalp a bit of a break, and my scalp has gotten better. And I also started using a hair mask, which also comes in a plastic tub. So I'm sorry, environment, but right now I'm more worried about my health of my scalp than the environment at this point. Later on, I'm gonna switch again for sure. Another bathroom product that I've bought that I'm super happy about is a safety razor. I know these look super scary. I mean, my granddad uses still one of these, and I was actually very reluctant to buying one of these. I didn't know how to shave with it, and my mom kept saying, oh, you're going to cut yourself up with this so much. So in the end, I gathered all of my courage. I decided to buy it, and I've been really happy with it actually. It cuts really nice, it shaves really well, and it's actually, because it's so sharp, you only need like one go and that's it, like all your hair is gone. And it's really easy to actually change the blade, and then you get it with this nice little box, and you can kind of store your knives in here and then pop that in like that, and that's it, you're done. And another hair removal product I wanted to mention is an Epilator. But for those of you who don't know, that's a hair removal thing which basically rotates, this bit rotates, and it kind of just pulls out your hair. It's very painful, and I actually started doing this for the first time properly last week, and I tried it out on my legs, and oh my god, I spent this section of my leg actually took me like half an hour to do because it was so painful. But after a while your leg just kind of goes numb and you just kind of carry on. This is obviously made of plastic, but if you use this for long term, it's really good. I mean, obviously you're not spending money on so many razors, and if you can get used to the pain, you know, obviously your hair will grow back slower. I would very much recommend this for people who have a kind of high pain threshold. And now on to the most exciting thing, which is menstrual products. So most of you have most likely heard about the menstrual cup, but I'm guessing a lot of you haven't tried it yet because it looks very intimidating. So for years and years I used to use this kind of thing, and I still use it because I mean I have it right now. And this is actually a night pad because I have a very heavy flow, which means that I produce a lot of blood and I need a bigger coverage. This is the kind of thing that I would use, and I was replacing these every few hours, even sometimes every half an hour, because my flow would be so heavy. Now, I've been on the pill, the hormonal contraceptive pill, for 2 years now, so that means that my flow has kind of regulated a little bit more. But also for a year now, I've been using this. Again, as with the safety razor, I was very reluctant to buying this because it looks very intimidating. And the fact that it's so big, and I'm a person who used to use tampons all the time, but this looked very scary to me until I bought it and until I tried it. And I realized there's nothing scary about it. Before I bought it, I was looking at it on the internet and it looked just solid. And I knew it was made of silicone, but like, it just looked solid, and it was so intimidating, like, how am I supposed to put this inside me? So when I bought it, and I watched a load of videos of how to put it in, and I realized just as long as you fold it properly, and this is kind of the method I use, just like that, and you're very careful, you're relaxed, you'll be fine. And then it kind of releases when it's inside, and it makes a vacuum. I actually really recommend this for people who like using tampons. This is so much better because with the tampon, obviously it's like this big and then it kind of gets this big. You know, when you take it out, it's actually super uncomfortable and really not nice. With this, it kind of just goes along your shape. As long as I put it in properly, I can't feel that it's inside me when I'm on my period. Obviously, the kind of taboo part is when you take it out, because it's not a pretty picture. Your hands get a little bit bloody, and with most kind of public restrooms, it's kind of uncomfortable because obviously you can't really wash your hands inside the cubicle, so you have to kind of wipe it with a tissue and, you know, do that kind of thing, which is not very pleasant. But I would 100 times prefer this than a tampon. And then when I finish with this, I just clean it very well, and then I sterilize it with some hot water. I boil it over for like 5 minutes every time my period ends. And what this has resulted in is less use of these, and it comes with this little bag. They come in different sizes, so do your research if you want to buy something like this. I know I did, and watch a lot of videos of how to use it, when to use it, etc., and what size is appropriate for you. For me, it's an M, as a sexually active woman who has not given birth. If you have given birth, then you have to go for a larger size. If you haven't had sex yet, then you go for a smaller size. And also, depending on, there's other things that you need to look at, but yes, you can do your research. It's really easy to find all this information. It's just out there waiting for you to read it. So if you are kind of considering this, please do your research first. It's not scary though. Once you get it, you're never going to want to use anything else again, trust me. So highly recommend this. Very good for the environment, obviously. So these are the few products that I wanted to show you today. This is already a very long video, so I'm going to cut this short very quickly. Again, I'm not perfect. There's tons and tons of things that I still use that are, you know, made of plastic or are brought to me from all over the world. So, you know, it's still, I would say 95% of the things that I use are not environmentally friendly, or the things that I do are not environmentally friendly. But I think what's important is to actually realize and acknowledge what we are doing to this planet, and what we can do to kind of help it, to stop climate change, if that's even possible anymore. But I think it's just important that you try and that you educate yourself. So again, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I am clearly not. But these are a few things that I've really enjoyed using, and I'm looking into more and more kind of environmentally friendly alternatives. I'm trying to be more conscious about everything that I buy. I'm hoping I made you think about sustainability, and I hope you kind of, you know, go away from this video thinking, oh hey, like maybe I'll try a menstrual cup, or maybe I'll try a safety razor, or maybe I'll save my jars now. So if I've made you think any of those things, please share it with me, because I love to know what your kind of journey is towards a more environmentally friendly lifestyle. And I would love to know where you are on your journey, if you're just starting, if you're very advanced and you have tips for me. Because if you have tips for me, please give them to me, because I'm always looking for ideas, I'm always looking to improve myself. I'm going to finish the video now because it's super long already. And thank you for watching, and again, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you in the next video, which will probably be another sustainability related one. Bye!